Namaste. Welcome to another episode of Corporate NPD. I am your Dr. Susan Curtis. Today we are looking into the working patterns of credit stealers. In the previous episode, you came to know about the credit stealers and who they are and what they are, how they look like, how they behave. Now, this episode we are looking into how they basically work, how they steal your work and you feel okay with it, or sometimes, whatever may happen, they will definitely steal your work and you may not be able to do anything. That kind of a situation, you will be maybe embarrassed, maybe, upset, irritated, frustrated, but unable to do anything. That kind of position you will be. But they make you feel validated, appreciated, all those kind of things happens, and with that you may feel okay, I'm getting recognition, I'm getting appreciated by my boss or something like that. So here, how they work, let's look at how those credit stealers work. What they do is, first and foremost, they identify who is the best person to be a credit provider or the information provider, the work, somebody who does the work very well. But they are not that good enough to, make themselves visible, and maybe they have some shyness, maybe they are new to the company, new to the culture, and the fresh people, they are really keen to pounce on, and they just study people. They just understand how each one is in the corporate culture, and that the corporate speaks a specific language. And in all those areas they look, and whoever is the low confident, or the people who are having bit shy and not able to present their work in front of people or claim, or they don't know how to make themselves visible, these kind of people, and people who are more emotionally vulnerable, and their flying monkeys goes around and pick those people, and also talk to the subordinates and the employees, and find who are those people who can be the people who can work for the credit stealing boss. And there are employees also who, your colleagues also can be one of those who steal your credit, but that is okay, at least you can handle. But when the boss becomes your credit stealer, you are, we know we are going to be in trouble, because we can't claim and he's obviously boss. So there is a power, the power position, and the people control. The power control is more there. So how they work, they never give you opportunity to meet with the higher authority. What they do is they meet the higher authority, and they ensure that you don't get any chance to meet with the higher authority. You can meet with your immediate boss, who is the credit stealer, and he will be meeting the higher authority, and they act as a bridge between between you and the higher authority. People like you, whoever is working very hard to provide all this information and work to the boss, and the boss gets all the glory. And if you are trying to cross the bridge, and if you wanted to enter into the bridge, and the moment you put your foot on the bridge, you can see them running. They come running, and where they're coming we don't know, but they are definitely there, and they show you like, yeah, I'm here to support you, to make you kind of comfortable, and I can take the message across to the the crossing the bridge and go to the higher authority. You don't have to take that much of pain. Maybe you may not be comfortable, but rest assured, you will be rewarded, and it is definitely you will be rewarded. How? Because they will, yeah, the higher management will be definitely happy with your work, and they appreciate you for your work, and but at the same time, all these things, but they started to create a feeling that you cannot exist in that organization, or you cannot progress, or you cannot get all this acknowledgement in that organization without them. Because of them or their support, you are getting all this kind of credibility and validation and appreciation. And also they just say, they come and tell you that the higher management they appreciated you. They're very happy with the work, and they, I'm telling you how happy they are. And even I recommended you for another promotion, and like all those kind of things, they will tell you, and you started to feel more loyalty and commitment towards this credit stealing boss than the organization. We're supposed to be having that commitment and loyalty towards the company, the organization as a whole, than to a specific people or to the team also, or to the project you can have. But here, what you give is, it is commitment and loyalty towards this particular person. A person centered commitment and loyalty started to form. And also what they do is they will take your work and present as theirs. And I explained it in the previous episode also. And what they do is, and like when they present, they take that validation, appreciation, and they take some breadcrumbs to you, like directly coming to them. And it's like moon, and the sun is just shining there as the boss, as the credit stealer shines there. And like in the moon, they give you some lights. Okay, you also shine, but not like me in that way. And what they do is, so like I can remember when I was doing a presentation, and when I was just joined the company and in an organization, and we had to do a presentation to the public, and it was a WHO program. WHO representative was there, and so we all do it. Those days, it was around 30 years ago, maybe. Those days, there is no such kind of projector and everything. The projector was like a sheet of paper, a plastic sheet of paper. You have to write, and that put on a like a glass something, a surface. Under there is a light, and then that is reflected on it. You need to put some upside down or something, that written, that plastic paper, a particular paper it is, and then that will reflect on the screen. That's the way we supposed to do the presentation. So I've been preparing mine, and there were 3 or 4 presentations from our organization itself. And I was a project manager project officer for the street children rehabilitation project. And then I had a lot of data, because day and night I was working in that project, and I had a lot of data to present. And when I was sitting and discussing with my manager, my boss, and he said, "Oh, well then, Susan, this is all good." And he told me that, Susan, did 1 or 2 points, maximum 2-3 points, which is very valid. I thought, he said, "This is not required. This is not necessary. Like, I don't think this is necessary." I said, "But it has got those supporting data, and we have this evidently happening in there." And he said, no, we just don't want to do that. I said, okay, fine. So it is my boss. He said no to present. I don't want to present. Maybe there is a reason he's more experienced. So I I removed that from my presentation. I created my presentation. I went and presented it. And it was like I was a junior staff. So my presentations are all in the beginning, like as it goes to the end, more and more experienced and senior people were presenting. And towards the end, I think it was my boss who did the presentation. And I was astonished. I was so, I don't know, I was so shocked to see that these 3 points were clearly mentioning in his presentation. I was just like shocked, and immediately I can see that my colleagues who were standing at the door side of the the conference hall, they just looked at me, and I just glanced at. I said, they said like that. They said it, and I know the 2 of them. And when I came, then I was so surprised, how this kind of, because I was very new to that, in the corporate world. It was not a corporate, it was a very small, organization. And then, but what happened was, it's hilarious. And there was a question related to those 1 or 2 points in that, which he stolen from me, taken from my presentation. And he was not able to answer because he was not directly connected with that. So immediately, how they are, they said, "Oh, the person who was into the field was so-and-so, and, Susan, please." So I had to get up and give the answer. But there, like that situation was favorable to me, and I could say that, okay, this is something like this. And then I was at least okay. Oh my God, I could say that, and people came to know that it was my product or something. And then after that, I came to the office. After finishing all this, and I said, "Come on, yeah, we have the discussion." So I said, "Come on, yeah, how it happened?" And those two said, "Susan, it's like that. You are working and you are giving that to the company paying you. So that's your product is purchased by them, and they can do whatever they want to do, and they can tell you, you do this, I do that." I said, "This is not right." I said, you will slowly, you get used to it, they said. But I know I could see that in various places I worked. I have a lot of experience in big, large corporate, working with a junior position to the senior position, the topmost directors and everything. But I could see that these things happening most of the time in organizations where some people are, scapegoated like this. They are real scapegoats, and like they just, maybe I can say that more than that, they are donkey, like who's doing all the work, and the glory goes to the master or the boss. And what also they do is, like they will share. They are like they give you validation as a messenger from the top authority, or somebody whom you are doing this work for. They say they take, and they are messenger. They say, "Oh, your work is validated. The quality of work is highly appreciated. You have a position here. See, if you are really loyal to me, and you stay like that, I can do many things for you, and I can ensure that you reach this position, that position, here, there, everything." But mostly what happens is that it is too difficult for you to get into that position, because you can't cross this person. And once you realize, mostly what you do is, this person may be there, you can parallelly create a career or a growth progress plan and move ahead, and you cannot overtake this person or anything, because they have a lot of flying monkeys they have created. Because all these great credit ceiling bosses are narcissistic personality disorder. They have narcissistic personality disorder, and they are good to the whole organization, but they are mean to certain people. They are abusive to certain people. So they are pro organization but anti-personal. So this is the behavior they show mostly in the organization. So how to handle them? If you look at it, you need to definitely assess the situation. In the situation, like your introspection, extrospection, and your retrospection needs to happen. And you can't before confronting the boss, you wanted to ask him, you wanted to tell him or something, please understand why it is happening, how it is happening, what is my position, what is their position, how the system works, everything you need to analyze. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. So you need to assess the situation clearly, well, and understand and see how you can, deal with it. One way of dealing with it is document all your work. Your work must be documented by you. There are a lot of people, when I deal with organization, the employees, the top, even senior most leaders, when they wanted to have their career progress, they come to me and they wanted to deal with the organizational politics and things like that. I can see that they don't even document their own work. And, it's just freely accessible to other people, and they can claim, yeah, ownership. So what you need to do is, everything what you have done need to be documented, and it's done as you. And another thing is, when somebody is asking you to discuss things with them, please do not just discuss there and leave and do whatever they're asking you to do. Come back to your seat and send them an email. For the 2-hour discussions, we agreed that I will provide you with this and this. I hope this is our understanding from the meeting. Like that's makes sense. Like that's ensuring that, okay, even if you are presenting it, the work is done by me. This belongs to me, whatever work I have done. And also, but sometimes some people will say, okay, nowadays you have all this electronic message. They will say, put it in a USB and give it to me. Then again, they can manipulate it. So what you do is, you put the things in the USB, then go to your desk and open your email and just say, dear sir, so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so things are saved in the USB disk. Put it on your desk, and this is for your information. If you miss anything from the listed, please let me know. So that means, so you are not sounding that you are, like claiming, you're just saying that you're very proactive, asking them to say, okay, check if that is not there in that USB, you can provide it. So those kind of, so you need to be a bit machiavellianistic in that role, as because when you are dealing with a narcissistic boss, definitely you need to have your strategies well placed. Otherwise it's really difficult to survive with them. So again, I said, speak up for yourself. You need to speak. Okay, oh, this can be done like this. Okay, I have something more to add to this, and then that it looks good. Something like that you need to say in the meeting. And will you do it? For somebody to say, will you do it, Susan? Yes, sir. But these things I'm doing it, and then this will happen. Like that. You just gave a very short description, not elaborately telling everything. So you take ownership and you are confident in that. You need to, like show in front of other people too, and seek support from others. Seeking support from others is very, very important, because, like as a team, you need to have support. You need to, tell people, maybe you can share certain things like that. They can share these things with you. I still remember once I was working for a very large corporate, and there was my quality of work is I very attention to detail. I do that. So there was a lot of important data to be created for the HR, for the administration, all those areas. Certain project documentation comes, my narcissistic boss used to come and give it to me and say that, you are wonderful, you have this, you have that. I used to feel, wow, yeah, I have that. I used to do that because I thought he's the one who's giving me the work, and I completed work, and I gave this work to back to the person. I said, Susan, you did a wonderful job. What a kind of appreciation and validation he gave it to me, and I felt really top of the world. And I was just joined. Maybe I joined maybe 1 year or something like that, still junior staff. And one day, the big man, the managing director's PA said, the managing director is calling me. And I really got, oh my God, why this man is supposed to call me? So I went there. I said, why? She said, it's okay, you go inside. So I went inside, because we normally don't go to, junior staff won't go to that higher management side. So I went inside, and he just asked me a couple of things, did you do this work? Did you do this work? Did you do this work? And these all work where my narcissistic boss, I was not aware that my boss was narcissistic, but later on I came to know. And he gave it to me to do. I said, yeah, yes. Okay. Will you do something for me? I said, of course, yeah, yes. So he called my boss and said that I need Susan for 5 days and to do some work. And, in the meantime, if you have anything to do, you can use my PA. And I was so surprised. What is happening? And then I asked this PA, and I said, what is happening? Why is it? She said, I was fed up. I was really fed up. This particular man takes your work, come and present to the managing director as if he has done the entire thing. And he gets such a appreciation and validation from the managing director, and he goes. And I have been watching this for quite some time, and I had the guts to tell the managing director, my boss, that, what are you doing? This man is not doing this work. A girl who's sitting that corner of the office somewhere in that place doing this, and in a silent manner, and and he's picking up that work and coming. And he asked, who is this particular person? And she said, so and so. And then he asked her to call me, and this is how it happened. So sometimes some people, because she was upset with the things happening, and she had the, I would say, courage to tell this to the person. And maybe if that boss also was someone who was narcissistic, so what? She works for him, and I give him work, and it is okay. Yeah, I don't care how the work is happening, and I just want the work to be done. All those kind of things. The conversation must have been in that way, but that did not happen. And I got that validation and appreciation straight away from the person. And like this, like you can have support of other people, but you need to be very careful when you are seeking support of other people. There should not be agent of firemonkeys of your narcissistic boss. And also you can see that, you can consider your various options, like, changing the department and interacting with other people and connecting with more powerful people. Like that, you can just try your options. And what more to consider, like for example, like maybe you change the organization itself, but I suggest that you need to learn all these things when you are into the organization. If you don't learn this, you don't know how this system works and how to navigate through all these issues and problems and this kind of cultures and becoming immune to all these things. The immunity you need to develop. Otherwise, how we can be a healthy individual in any setup, especially in the corporate world. It is important that you need to develop your immunity. And I hope you got, how the narcissistic, especially the credit stealer boss works, and how you can protect yourself. And in the beginning, as I always say, when you join the organization, you need to sense all these things. This is called the intro we say introspection we do. And you just see who you are, what you are, how much you know, how much you can contribute and everything. And extrospection, you sense the organization, its setup, its hierarchies, which power works. Maybe the position power may not work there. It may be a functional power work there. Position is just for the sake of position. All these things you need to understand. Then if you behave, if you put your strategies in place, you have a chance to progress in that particular organization, or you decide whether to continue or not to continue and live, and choose another organization where you can progress with your abilities, your skills, your talents, and your intelligence. And we all have the right to live peacefully, happy, and progressive. And we all should focus on that and work towards it. And for that, may God bless us all.